Hello, I'm Ricky and welcome to another episode of Petrol Heads. This weekend we headed out to Sandton to meet some BMW fans. Quite a lot happening today, so without wasting any more time, let's head out to the BMW Concours.
It's marvel. I never seen nothing like this.
Oh, there's quite nothing like the sound of this car. This car will never be for sale, I can assure you.
It's just not something you're going to find on the road anymore.
It's the best BMW event of the year, man.
BM is something different.
It's actually the 40th anniversary of BMW Motorsport. Because it's a South African event, we've actually managed to secure a number of South African specific BMW motorsport vehicles. So the 530 MLE from the late 70s, the 745i from the sort of early and mid 80s, the 333i from the late 80s, and the 325IS from the early 90s. So we've actually had more entries than we've ever had in the past. The idea behind the Concours is that if you were with your partner on your way to a black tie function, if you got a flat tyre, you'd be able to change the tyre without getting your white cuffs dirty. There's two main categories they look at. The one is condition and also how clean is it.
Get to see real classic and mint cars.
Everybody's just looking at the cars, taking photos, so I think it's good.
Oh, I'll definitely never sell this car. It's like once you've made a connection with a car like this, money just becomes irrelevant. The car behind me is the BMW M1, which is a car that they built from 1978 through to 1981. They made 456 examples of this car, and it was originally designed and developed by Lamborghini. Lamborghini fell into hard financial times. They'd made 6 prototypes by then, and BMW then took over the project completely, and each car was hand-built at BMW Motorsport. They built them primarily to homologate for a racing series called Group 4 Pro Car Series, where all the Formula 1 drivers of the day were then paired up to a BMW M1, which they raced in that formula. That formula lasted until 1979, the end of 1979, with Niki Lauda winning the 1 year in 78 and Nelson Piquet winning it in 79. It certainly turned the BMW M1 into an absolute iconic car and was arguably the first international BMW M car built by Motorsport. One of the most desirable classic BMWs that's been made.
This is a 1991 BMW 325IS Evolution 2. 114,000 k's, a genuine classic as far as we're concerned. Like I say, we grew up in the day watching Tony Viana racing these cars against Michael Briggs, and that was where the history started for us. We've chased these cars ever since, and it's a piece of South African history. This particular car was the Evolution 2. It was the 155 kilowatt motor. Well, this was the last of the ISs. You know, they sound like no other motor car. Even the newer BMWs don't sound like these do. And it was a piece of racing history for us. Because of the fact that they're so in demand, we don't use them on a daily basis. We hide them away as much as possible. Nothing will give you a feeling like an IS. An IS is just it's a great motor car.
We're covering the Concours for the magazine, so this is going to get featured. There's going to be a nice, probably 5-7 page feature, so all the cars here are getting a real nice publicity over in the UK. So I hope the SA guys will enjoy seeing their cars in a foreign mag, getting some international publicity for them. And I think we're going to have a great time with them, with like-minded BMW enthusiasts.
My car is a BMW 1976 530 MLE. It's a South African special, only found in South Africa, a very limited amount, and it was built by AG BMW in the late 70s to compete in the Star newspaper modified saloon series.
This is a 1986 BMW 333i from the E30 series. There were about only 204 of them made between 1985 to 1987. They were developed in South Africa back then, specifically because we were unable to have the E30 M3 back then. This was developed in conjunction with Alpina, specifically for the South African market.
The 530 MLE was built in '76 specifically for racing, and they had to build 105 and sell them to the public before they could race. This car uses a standard straight 6 3-litre engine, although it's got a modified head. The brakes have been uprated. It's got a Gauteng 5-speed dogleg gearbox, and a dogleg means that your first is to the bottom. It uses a Borg-Warner diff. Power output in those days was about 147 kilowatts, which is not much for a 3-litre, but back in the days it was quite a performance car.
It's a 3.3-litre straight 6. There's no additional fittings to it or anything. It's a normally aspirated engine. Power outage is about 185 kilowatts, and you can imagine with a small body like this, it puts a lot of power on the wheels and on the road.
The car has been a family car since the late 70s, 78, 79. My father bought the car. It was our daily runabout, school, swimming was what we used as a family car. In 2004 my father sold the car, and in 2007 I found the car again and bought it back from that owner, and I've had it now for about 4 years.
This car is basically only for high days, holidays and Sundays, motor shows like that. It's not something that I would like to use on a daily basis. The risk is just too big for it to be in an accident or get stolen or something like that. So
they are very rare in the world. There's only around 10 of them left.
These cars are original South African cars. They were developed here, they were built here, they are as uniquely South African as you will ever get.
I like our beer. My favorite car is the Batmobile.
I wanted to actually be a racing driver, and I fell in love with these cars.
Favorite car is M1.
IS in the corner there. Shadow blue looking one at the moment.
I could take any car here. I take the BMW 1M.
BMW S71, the 2002.
The looks in terms of power, it's just about the best you could get.
And if you sit in it, it's got character.
BMW E30 325 IS.
This is my favorite car.
It's this nice Isetta from my homeland Germany. Bye bye.